Welcome to Paranormal Files. I'm your host, Paige Carter. The concept of a haunted house is deeply ingrained in our collective psyche. We imagine spectral figures, draped in white, drifting through darkened halls, a chill in their wake. But what if the roles were reversed? What if it was not the dead haunting the living, but the living who haunted the dead? In 1892, a respected member of the Boston community, Dr. Hugo Blackwood, built a grand mansion on the outskirts of the city. It was a place of opulence, a testament to his success. But within a decade, the good doctor had passed away, his mansion left vacant. The house stood silent and empty, a monolith of memory, until the turn of the century, when it was bought by a wealthy family. The new owners were a couple in their early 30s with a young daughter. They were excited about their new home and eager to fill it with warmth and happiness. But as they began to settle in, strange occurrences started to unfold. Objects would move or disappear, doors would open and close without reason, and the child would speak of an old man who visited her in her dreams. The family, naturally concerned, sought help. They called in psychics, mediums, and even a priest to cleanse the house. However, the disturbances continued, with an intensity that escalated with each intervention. It was as though the house was reacting, resisting, fighting back. One day, a local historian visited the family. He had heard of the strange occurrences and had a theory. He explained that when Dr. Blackwood had built the house, he'd imbued it not only with his wealth, but also with his spirit. The historian suggested that the family's attempts to alter the house, to make it their own, were agitating the spirit of Dr. Blackwood. The family was skeptical, but they were desperate for peace. They decided to try respecting the house as it was, as Dr. Blackwood had left it. They stopped all renovations, restored the original furniture, and even began to honor the doctor's memory in small ways, such as celebrating his birthday. Slowly, the disturbances ceased. Doors remained closed, objects stayed in place, and the child's dreams of the old man became less frequent, until they stopped altogether. The house, once a place of fear and uncertainty, became a home filled with peace and harmony. To this day, the house stands as a testament to a unique phenomenon, a reverse haunting, where the living unknowingly haunt the dead. The story of the Blackwood Mansion serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes it's not the dead who disturb the living, but the living who disturb the dead. And in such cases, respect and understanding can be the key to finding peace. The origins of reverse hauntings can be traced back centuries, across continents and cultures, to a time when mankind's understanding of the afterlife was steeped more in superstition than in spirituality. One of the earliest recorded incidents of reverse hauntings is believed to have occurred in the ancient city of Rome. In 44 BC, following the assassination of Julius Caesar, it was said that the Roman Senate house was plagued by a spectral apparition of the fallen leader. Many believed this was a reaction to the violence that had taken his life, a disturbance caused by the living, not the dead. In the modern era, the first well-documented case of a reverse haunting takes us to the late 19th century in the rural town of Amherst, Nova Scotia. Esther Cox, a young woman living with her sister and brother-in-law, was said to have become the epicenter of paranormal activity following a traumatic event. The manifestations were so severe that they drew the attention of Walter Hubble, a prominent actor and author of the time, who lived with the family for several months to document the occurrences. Hubble recorded instances of objects moving on their own, loud rapping sounds, and even messages appearing on the walls, seemingly written by an unseen hand. Most notably, he documented the emergence of several spectral entities that seemed to be tied to Esther's emotional state. When she was distressed or upset, the activity would increase, suggesting that it was her own energy, her living essence, that was causing the disturbances. In the East, similar stories can be found in the lore of Japan and China, where the concept of the living disturbing the dead is not uncommon. Japanese folklore is filled with tales of yurei, vengeful spirits disturbed by the living. These spirits are believed to be tied to specific locations or objects, and their peaceful rest can be disrupted by those who do not respect these ties. In China, the tradition of ancestor veneration includes practices designed to appease the spirits of the deceased, suggesting an understanding that the living can, inadvertently or not, disturb the peace of the dead. This is particularly evident during the Hungry Ghost Festival, when offerings are made to appease potentially unhappy spirits. These historical accounts, while varied in their specifics, all point to a similar conclusion: the notion that our actions in the world of the living can have repercussions in the realm of the dead. They illustrate that a reverse haunting is not so much a frightening anomaly as it is a manifestation of a universal human concept, the belief that death is not an end, but a different state of existence, one that remains intimately connected to the world of the living. In the quest to understand these intriguing phenomena, a diverse group of individuals have come forth, contributing their unique experiences and insights. Survivors of reverse hauntings, paranormal investigators, and academic researchers have all played pivotal roles in expanding our knowledge about this lesser-known aspect of the supernatural. Among the key witnesses of reverse hauntings stands Julia Sanchez, a woman from New Mexico who firmly believes her actions caused a revered ancestral spirit to manifest in her home. Following a heated argument with her mother about their family's traditions, Sanchez reported bizarre occurrences: doors slamming shut, objects floating in midair, and a chilling presence that seemed to pervade the house. Sanchez, acknowledging her disrespect towards her lineage, sought forgiveness through traditional rituals, and the paranormal activity ceased. Paranormal investigator Thomas Halcomb has dedicated his life to studying these unique hauntings. His most notable case involved a centuries-old cemetery in Louisiana, where spectral sightings skyrocketed after a local developer sought to build a shopping mall over the burial ground. Halcomb chronicled the experiences of the protesting locals, who were terrorized by spectral apparitions and unexplained phenomena. His meticulous documentation provided compelling evidence of a connection between the living's disrespect for the dead and an increase in paranormal activity. The academic sphere has also offered significant contributions to this enigmatic field. Dr. Jolene Matthews, a cultural anthropologist at Harvard University, has extensively researched the concept of reverse hauntings across various cultures. Her seminal paper, The Living Disturbing the Dead: A Cross-Cultural Examination, brings together historical accounts, folklore, and modern-day testimonials, painting a broader picture of this fascinating phenomenon. The evidence uncovered by these individuals points toward a fundamental respect and reverence for the dead deeply ingrained in cultures worldwide. Their experiences and research suggest not only the possibility, but the likelihood of reverse hauntings, further blurring the lines between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. The accumulated body of knowledge emphasizes our deep-seated belief in life beyond death and the profound impact our actions can have on this unseen world. As we delve deeper into these narratives and discoveries, we find that the living and the dead are intricately intertwined, linked by invisible threads of respect, fear, and awe. The range and intensity of manifestations in reverse hauntings are as diverse as the cultures and people that experience them. From ethereal sightings to physical disturbances and psychic phenomena, these peculiar incidents defy conventional explanation, pushing the boundaries of our understanding of reality. A compelling example of this is the infamous case of the Redwood Villa in California. Following a series of renovations carried out without regard to the villa's historical significance, the occupants reported an increase in extraordinary events. The grand chandelier in the main hall started swinging violently without provocation, as if jostled by an invisible hand. Mirrors reflected figures that weren't present, and an eerie melody could be heard echoing through the corridors, though no source of the music could ever be found. In another case, a construction crew in Japan reported an array of unexplained phenomena when they attempted to build over an ancient Shinto shrine. tools mysteriously disappeared, only to reappear in odd places. The workers reported feeling a heavy, oppressive presence, and several even claimed to see shadowy figures at the periphery of their vision, vanishing when directly looked at. The site was eventually abandoned due to the sheer terror instilled in the crew. In the Highlands of Scotland, a family with a newly acquired ancestral castle experienced a series of strange occurrences. The stone walls echoed with whispers in Gaelic, a language none of the current inhabitants spoke. A spectral woman in a tartan dress was seen roaming the halls, her mournful gaze haunting the dreams of the residents. The castle's private chapel was a vortex of activity, with the organ playing hymns at odd hours and prayer books flying off the shelves. These incidents suggest a defiance of the laws of physics and logic, a disruption in the fabric of the ordinary. In each case, the living had disturbed sacred or historical sites linked to the dead, and the dead seemed to respond with a show of spectral might. This inexplicable activity provides tantalizing hints of an ethereal realm that coexists with ours, a realm that we might be disturbing with our ignorance and disrespect. In the face of these compelling cases, it's hard to dismiss reverse hauntings as mere superstition or coincidence. The spectral figures, the eerie sounds, the unexplained movements, they all point towards an otherworldly reality that we intrude upon at our peril. More than just stories, these accounts serve as stark reminders of the thin veil separating the world of the living from the realm of the dead, and the profound consequences that can befall those who dare to disturb it. Despite the countless stories, there are those who remain firmly grounded in the rational, seeking to explain these uncanny occurrences through established scientific principles. One such theory posits that electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, could be behind the occurrences. These fields, generated by everything from electrical wiring to appliances, are known to interfere with the human brain's function and perception. This interference can cause hallucinations, feelings of being watched, or even a sense of dread, all common features of these haunting experiences. However, this theory falls short when applied to the physical manifestations, such as moving objects or apparitions that have been captured on film. Another theory suggests infrasound, or low-frequency sound waves that are below the range of human hearing, could be responsible. Infrasound can cause feelings of unease, fear, and can even induce hallucinations. This theory, while plausible, fails to explain the specificity and thematic consistency of these reverse hauntings. It also does not account for the physical disturbances often reported. Some skeptics attribute these alleged hauntings to the psychological phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the human mind perceives a familiar pattern where none exists. This could explain why people see faces in the shadows or hear voices in the wind. Yet pareidolia can hardly elucidate the shared experiences reported by multiple witnesses or the physical evidence left behind. Other experts have suggested the power of suggestion and collective hysteria as explanations. The idea is that if one person believes they're experiencing a haunting, others around them may start to believe and perceive the same. But this theory struggles to explain instances where phenomena were experienced before any suggestion of a haunting was made, or where the individuals involved were unaware of each other's experiences until after the fact. Lastly, there's the theory of residual energy. Advocates for this idea propose that emotional or traumatic events can leave an energy imprint in the environment that can be perceived by the living. But this theory, while intriguing, lacks concrete scientific evidence and doesn't explain why some disturbances seem to be reactions to specific actions by the living. Each of these theories, while offering tantalizing possibilities, fails to fully explain the phenomena reported in reverse hauntings. The spectral figures, the eerie sounds, the unexplained movements. They all persist, defying rational explanation, hinting at the existence of a realm beyond our current understanding. In the search for answers, it is crucial to consider the psychological and cultural factors that shape our perception of these events. Human cognition is inextricably linked to our cultural conditioning, influencing how we interpret and understand the inexplicable. The human mind is wired to fear the unknown, and this fear often manifests as belief in supernatural phenomena. The specter of death, in particular, has been a source of both dread and fascination across different societies and eras, giving birth to an array of ghostly folklore and mythology. In the field of psychology, the concept of cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort experienced by an individual who holds two or more contradictory beliefs, values, or perceptions at the same time, plays a crucial role in these interpretations. When confronted with phenomena that defy rational explanation, such as reverse hauntings, our minds may generate supernatural explanations to reconcile this dissonance. We attribute these unsettling experiences to ghosts, spirits, or otherworldly entities, offering a semblance of understanding that eases our fear of the unknown. Culturally, the concept of the living affecting the dead is not new. Many societies have traditions and rituals designed to appease or communicate with the spirits of the deceased. Offerings, sacrifices, and elaborate ceremonies are conducted to ensure the peaceful rest of the departed and to avoid their wrath. These practices underline the belief that our actions in the living world can impact the realm of the dead. A fascinating example of this can be found in Chinese culture, where the Hungry Ghost Festival is held annually. It is believed that during this period, the gates of the underworld are opened, and spirits roam the world of the living. People make offerings of food and burn paper money to placate these spirits, demonstrating an interaction where the living seek to influence the dead. In Western cultures, we see similar themes in the tradition of leaving coins on gravestones or holding seances to communicate with the departed. In these rituals, the living actively seek to engage with the dead, reflecting the belief in a two-way interaction between these realms. This intersection of psychology and culture offers a compelling lens through which to view the phenomenon of reverse hauntings. It raises questions about the power of human belief and the lengths our minds will go to make sense of the unexplainable. The fear, the awe, the mystique. It all intertwines, creating a tapestry of human experience that transcends the boundaries of life and death. Yet even as we delve deep into our collective psyche and cultural lore, the mystery of reverse hauntings remains. The spectral apparitions, the haunting whispers, the inexplicable disturbances. They persist, the echoes of the dead in the realm of the living, a chilling reminder of the unknown that lies beyond our grasp. As we delve into the metaphysical and spiritual aspects of reverse hauntings, the profundity of these phenomena is only amplified. The paranormal realm offers explanations that go beyond the tangible world, delving into the realms of spirits, interdimensional beings, energy imprints, and otherworldly consciousness. In the world of the paranormal, the concept of energy is paramount. It's believed that every living being radiates a unique energy, an invisible life force that continues to exist even after physical death. This energy, or spirit, is thought to retain the consciousness and emotions of the individual, interacting with those left behind. When considered in the context of reverse hauntings, we could interpret these occurrences as manifestations of our own spiritual energy impacting the deceased. Our actions, emotions, and thoughts, brimming with life energy, may create ripples that extend into the realm of the spirit, causing disturbances or apparent reactions from the deceased. Another perspective considers the existence of interdimensional beings. These entities, existing beyond our three-dimensional world, are believed to be capable of influencing both the living and the dead. A reverse haunting could be an interdimensional being's attempt to communicate or interact, misinterpreted as a reaction from the deceased. From a slightly different angle, some propose the idea of imprints or residual hauntings. These are not spirits per se, but rather impressions of emotional or psychic energy that have been embedded into the environment. Moments of intense living emotion or trauma can leave these imprints, which can then be triggered or perceived by the dead, resulting in a reverse haunting. The notion of otherworldly consciousness introduces an even deeper layer of complexity. This theory suggests that all consciousness is interconnected across space and time, transcending the barriers of life and death. Our thoughts and emotions may impact this shared consciousness, influencing the deceased in ways we don't fully comprehend. These metaphysical interpretations of reverse hauntings offer an intriguing perspective, suggesting the possibility of a profound connection between the living and the dead, a bond that extends beyond the physical plane. They underscore the depth of our influence, the strength of our emotional and spiritual energy, and the possibility that our actions can echo into realms beyond our perception. Yet these explanations also deepen the mystery of reverse hauntings. They bring us face to face with the unknown, highlighting the vast, unexplored territories that lie beyond our mortal comprehension. The whispers of the dead, the spectral apparitions, the inexplicable disturbances. They remain, a testament to the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil of our understanding. As we traverse the timeline from ancient belief systems to modern times, the narrative of reverse hauntings continues to evolve and adapt, influenced by the march of technology and the changing contours of societal beliefs. This evolution has breathed new life into the phenomenon, expanding its reach and influence in unexpected ways. The advent of technology has had a profound impact on the study and understanding of reverse hauntings. Digital recorders, night vision cameras, and electromagnetic field detectors have become the tools of the trade for those seeking to document and understand these phenomena. In the age of smartphones and social media, countless people around the globe have shared their experiences and evidence of reverse hauntings, adding an unprecedented level of documentation and accessibility to the phenomenon. Paranormal investigators and enthusiasts use these tools to monitor locations reported to be active sites of reverse hauntings. The recordings they gather, often featuring inexplicable voices or apparitions, are seen as tangible evidence of the living impacting the resting spirits. These spectral voices, known as electronic voice phenomena, EVP, often manifest as faint, otherworldly whispers amidst the static. The words, though often indistinct and cryptic, are believed to be responses or reactions from the deceased to the actions or emotions of the living. One of the most compelling instances of this was recorded at a historic cemetery, thought to be a hotspot for reverse hauntings. Amidst a digital recording, a faint voice was heard saying, "I hear you." The voice seemingly responded to the investigator's recitation of a poem written by a deceased resident of the cemetery. The investigator believed this to be an instance of EVP, a manifestation of the dead reacting to the words of the living. The advent of the Internet has also facilitated the proliferation of an online community of individuals interested in these phenomena. This virtual meeting place has become a hub for sharing experiences, theories, and evidence. This digital archive of reverse hauntings has allowed even skeptics to delve into the phenomenon, scrutinizing the evidence and forming their own conclusions. Meanwhile, ongoing investigations into reverse hauntings continue to push the boundaries of our understanding. Paranormal researchers, armed with a mix of scientific methodology and open-minded curiosity, are seeking to decode the nature and mechanics of these phenomena. Their work, often conducted in the hushed silence of creaky old mansions or quiet, moonlit graveyards, is driven by a deep-seated desire to unravel the mysteries that lie at the intersection of the living and the dead. In this digital age, the echoes of reverse hauntings have become more accessible and tangible than ever before. The phenomenon, once shrouded in myth and superstition, is now being scrutinized under the lens of modern technology. Yet the profound sense of mystery and awe remains intact. These modern developments have not dispelled the enigma of reverse hauntings, but have instead deepened the intrigue, making it ever more captivating and enigmatic. As the exploration of reverse hauntings intensifies, the theories surrounding them become increasingly bold and provocative. Some of the most controversial ideas tie in governmental experiments, time slips, portals, and even non-human intelligence. These theories, while speculative in nature, offer tantalizing possibilities that challenge the conventional understanding of life and death. The clandestine nature of government experiments has always been a fertile ground for conspiracy theories. There are those who propose that the phenomena associated with reverse hauntings are the byproducts of undisclosed projects. Allegations range from experiments in psychic warfare, turning the souls of the deceased into unwilling spies or saboteurs, to attempts at harnessing spectral energy as an alternative power source. While these ideas may seem far-fetched, they underscore the lengths to which some believe governments will go in the pursuit of power and control. Then there are theories of time slips and temporal anomalies. Proponents of these ideas argue that reverse hauntings are instances where the fabric of time becomes porous, allowing the living and the dead to communicate across temporal boundaries. They suggest that the voices and apparitions are not spirits reaching out from beyond the grave, but echoes of the past bleeding into the present, distorted by the temporal flux. Portals, gateways that bridge the gap between realms of existence, are another recurring theme. The theory posits that certain places, often those with a history of heightened paranormal activity, act as portals between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. These portals, it is argued, are responsible for the phenomena associated with reverse hauntings, allowing the living to intrude into the realm of the deceased. Perhaps the most outlandish theory relates to non-human intelligence. Some theorize that entities from other dimensions or alien civilizations are behind the phenomena of reverse hauntings. They argue that these entities are capable of manipulating human perception and creating the illusion of contact with the deceased. This theory, while far from mainstream, highlights the lengths to which some will go in their quest to explain the unexplainable. These theories, controversial and extraordinary as they may be, are part of the larger narrative of reverse hauntings. They reveal a collective yearning to understand the mysteries of life and death, to delve into the unknown, and to grapple with the tantalizing possibility of a world beyond our own. Regardless of their veracity, these theories continue to fuel the curiosity and fascination surrounding reverse hauntings, spurring further investigation into this enigmatic phenomenon. As we stare into the mirror of these strange and beguiling phenomena, it is essential to remember that the reflection we see is not always a clear and accurate representation. The realm of the paranormal is shrouded in mystery and intrigue, casting shadows that dance and distort in the corners of our understanding. Despite the engrossing theories postulated, a great chasm of the unknown still exists. The question lingers: what truly happened in these instances of reverse hauntings? The evidence has been presented, the witnesses have spoken, and the theories have been dissected. Yet, the ultimate truth remains elusive. The spectral echoes of the past that intrude into our reality in reverse hauntings leave behind traces, spectral fingerprints, that defy our comprehension. But is it the living truly haunting the dead? Or are we simply brushing against the veil that separates our world from theirs? For those who have experienced these phenomena firsthand, the truth may be as tangible as the ghostly apparitions they've seen or voices they've heard. For others, the truth is a phantom, elusive, and intangible. The phenomenon of reverse hauntings, like many aspects of the paranormal, is a puzzle that may never be fully solved. It is a journey into the unknown, a darkened path that winds through the shadowy forest of the supernatural, inviting us to step forward and delve deeper, even as it cloaks the way ahead in mystery. As we navigate these murky waters, it's important to remember the profound impact these experiences have on those who encounter them. The fear, the awe, the sense of stepping beyond the known world. These are not mere stories to be told around a campfire, but life-altering experiences that challenge our understanding of reality. Can these occurrences happen again? Given the recurring nature of hauntings, the answer seems to be a resounding yes. But what shape they will take, who will be involved, and where they will occur, These are questions as unpredictable as the phenomena themselves. As we conclude this exploration, it's clear that the mysteries of reverse hauntings remain largely unsolved, the spectral echo of the unexplained reverberating in the silence of the unknown. We are left to ponder the tantalizing possibility of a world beyond our own, a world that, at times, seems to reach out and brush against the veil of our reality. In the end, perhaps the greatest revelation of reverse hauntings is the stark reminder of how much we have yet to learn about the universe and our place within it. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Paranormal Files. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, gain access to bonus content, and unlock our full library of podcasts, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.